Attack that Iran launched on Israel last night. Its president has said in the last few hours that his country is not, in his words, looking for war, but he pledged a stronger response if Israel tries to retaliate for the attack. Our chief international correspondent Lise Doucet reports.
Iran's most powerful missiles, sending their starkest message last night to Israel. If you hit us or our allies, we'll hit you. The order given by commanders and clerics. In the name of God, he declares, in revenge for the martyrs' blood. And today, a message from the president while visiting Qatar.
We were left with no choice but to respond. If Israel decides to retaliate, then it will face harsher reactions.
It's this man who calls the shots in Tehran, the supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei, revered by his supporters, reviled by enemies, ultra-conservative, deeply distrustful of the West.
In our region, the root cause of all these wars is the presence of those who claim they want peace and calm, America and some European countries.
Iran's cautious cleric has tried to avoid direct confrontation with Israel, with America. But today his supporters celebrated Iran's attack. For hardliners, Israel's assassination of Hassan Nasrallah, the Hezbollah chief, crossed a red line. They had to retaliate. And this is why Iran believes it had to protect what it calls its ring of fire, militias it's armed in these countries across the region. Most of all, Hezbollah in Lebanon, right on Israel's border. Hassan Nasrallah was part of Iran's forward defense. And in Gaza, Hamas. Their political leader, Ismail Haniyeh, was killed in July while visiting Iran. Israel was blamed. These groups, which also call themselves the Axis of Resistance, are in Syria, Iraq, and as far away as the Houthis in Yemen. They've all been weakened, but not wiped out by Israel's recent strikes, and they're certain to keep attacking. But what matters most of all for the Islamic Republic is to preserve the Islamic Republic, their power at home. That means striking hard enough to send a message, but not so hard it drags Iran into an all-out war it knows it cannot win. Lise Doucet, BBC News.
Iran launched around 180 missiles towards Israel last night. So how successful were they in striking their targets? Our security correspondent Gordon Carrera has been analysing the data. Gordon.
Yes, Anna, this night vision footage, Iran says, is the moment it launched its attack. A salvo of missiles heading into the skies and across the Middle East. Iran says it used faster ballistic missiles and more of them compared to the attack it carried out in April. After just 12 minutes or so, these are some of the missiles arriving over Israel. Many were shot down by Israel's air defense systems, but not all. So what did Iran hit? It said it was going after military bases. The BBC has verified one cluster of missiles hitting here, the Nevatim air base used by the Israeli Air Force. We've counted at least 9 impacts, although Israel says there's been no effect on the base's operation. We've also verified another strike around Tel Aviv. This hit just a few hundred metres from what's thought to be the headquarters of Mossad, the spy agency. Iran today warned that if Israel retaliated, then it would strike again, even harder. But Israel has already made clear it will respond. So what might it do? Back in April, when it was last targeted, Israel responded with a single, highly precise strike, likely an air-launched ballistic missile, to take out an Iranian air defense system that was being used to protect a nuclear plant at Isfahan. This time, Israel is expected to do more. Some want to target the nuclear facilities themselves, like at Natanz, but it's well protected and would likely need American help. And when President Biden was asked earlier today if he'd support Israel targeting those nuclear sites, this was his response.
The answer is no.
So, the answer is no. But another option for the Israelis is to target Iran's economic capacity. Now, that would mean hitting something like the oil refinery at Abadan. A further option might be military bases. It's not yet clear what Israel will do or when, but it says it can strike anywhere in the Middle East.